Okay, fine.
You claim.
So, good morning to all, particularly DBS Starks, the chairman of DBS institution, the secretary of DBS institution, the teaching faculty, and the non-teaching staff, and the my dear students. So, today's talk will be on National Education Policy 2020. So, education is the panacea for all the evils and diseases. It is the medicine for all the evils. That's why education converts poverty into property. Education is nothing but the manifestation of perfection which is already inside the human being. So the word education has been derived from a Latin word, educatio, educatio, which means the nurturing, rearing, breeding, nurturing, rearing, breeding. And then from the word educo, educo, educo. So what does it mean? Educo. E stands for out of, out of. Duco, Duco stands for lead forth, lead forth, lead forth. Lead forth means munduku nadavandi, munduku nadavandi, lead forth, to bring up. And then E stands for out of, out of, బయటకు తీసుకొని రావడం. అంటే ఆ స్కిల్ ని బయటకు తీసుకొని రావడం. ఆ స్కిల్ ని బయటకు ముందుకు నడవడంలో ఉన్న స్కిల్ ని బయటకు తీసుకొని వచ్చి షేర్ చేయడం ఈడ్యూకో, ఎడ్యూకో, అదే ఎడ్యుకేషన్ గా మారిందని. దెన్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఈస్ వన్ అమంగ్ ద 17 సస్టైనబుల్ డెవలప్మెంట్ గోల్స్ framed by the United Nations Organization. 17 sustainable development goals. The target date is 2030. The target year is 2030. So by 2030, all the countries should achieve these 17 sustainable development goals. The very first one is no poverty. The second one is zero hunger. The third one is health for all. And the fourth one is quality education. Quality education. So education is the most important thing in the world nowadays. So we are 112th rank in education. India stands in 112th rank in education. Slowly we are increasing our ranking in the world. Slowly we are increasing. Then who is considered to be the father of education? Father of education is Horace Mann. Horace Mann is considered to be the father of international education or the world education. Then, who is considered to be the father of Indian education? Indian education, Lord Macaulay. Lord Macaulay is considered to be the father of Indian education. Then, in the Constitution, there are two important articles which deals with the education subject. One is Article 21A. Article 21A. What does it denote? The Article 21A denotes the compulsory education, the compulsory universalization of education. So that is Article 21A. Compulsory, free and compulsory education. That is Article 21A. The second article which deals with education is Article 45. Article 45. What does it denote? Article 45. Article 45 deals with a provision towards ECCE, ECCE, early child care education, early child care education, early child care education. That is the foundational part in the education journey. foundational part in educational journey is ECCE, Early Child Care Education. Then, what are the evolutionary trends of education in India? What is the journey of education in India? If you see, the journey the journey starts in the year 1854. The beginning journey starts in India in the year 1854. 1854 is the golden year in the Indian educational history. That's known as the Woods Dispatch Act. The Woods Dispatch Act 1854. The very first journey in education is 1854 year, 1854. That's known as the Dispatch Act of Wood. Dispatch Act of Wood. So what does it denote? This is nothing but a Magna Carta, the Magna Carta of English education in India. English education in India is the year 1854, is the most important year. That is the journey of education. So what does it denote? What does it denote? The most important thing in this 1854 English Education in India Act is the first one is the primary education. Primary education shall be in vernacular language. Primary education shall be in vernacular education up to fifth. Then the secondary education shall be in both languages, English and vernacular language, English and vernacular. Then the tertiary education shall be in English, shall be in English. So these are the three parts in education. That is Dispatch Act of 1854, English education in India. That's nothing but the Magna Carta. Magna Carta. So that is the first starting point of journey. The second most important crucial year in Indian education, that is 1904, 1904, wherein Lord Curzon has proposed the Universities Act, the Universities Act in 1904, 1904, wherein now today we have around 4,000 universities, 4,000 universities, and more than 39,000 colleges, 39,000 colleges, in different languages, in different. The world has more than 7,117 languages, more than 7,170 languages in the world. So that is the crucial year as far as the Universities Act is considered. Then the year 1968. So after independence, post-independence, there are several commissions appointed. The most comprehensive commission is in the year 1968. That's nothing but the Kothari Commission. Kothari Commission, D.S. Kothari was the UGC chairman at the time, the University Grants Commission chairman at the time. So he has proposed the 10 plus 2 plus 3 educational system. 10 plus 2 plus 3. 10 is the secondary education, 10th class, up to 10th class is the secondary education. It includes both primary and secondary. And then 2 denotes intermediate education, in between school education and degree, graduation. The period is known as intermediate. That's known as 2. The next 3 is degree education, graduation, degree education. So that's why it is nothing but 10 plus 2 plus 3. 10 plus 2 plus 3 system has been introduced by D.S. Kothari, the chairman of UGC, University Grants Commission, who is the chairman of 1968 Education Commission. So it is nothing but he has introduced a trilingual formula in languages. Trilingual. One is English, the second one is mother language, and the third one is Hindi. So, like that, he has introduced the concept of the trilingual formula in the educational system. That's nothing but NSS, National School System. National School System. So that is 1968 Kotari Commission. Then comes 1984 system. It is the crucial year in educational journey. 1986, the chairman was Acharya Ramamurthy. Acharya Ramamurthy. So this uh, national education policy of 1986 deals with removal of disparities in education, removal of discrepancies in education, removal of disparities, providing equity, equality towards educational opportunities. All are equal before the eyes of law. So, uh, a system and an ambience is created towards the educational opportunities. All or the education is accessible, available, affordable. Triple A system, that is 1986, and imbibing the values of secularism, socialism, democracy, SSD, secularism, socialism, democracy, SSD system has been introduced in 1986 National Education Policy, 1986. Then quality education. So these are the goals and objectives of 1986. Then, subsequently, in the year 1992, wherein a revised educational policy has come into force, the revised educational policy has come into force, touching education focus at all levels. They have touched education focus, all levels. And then they have introduced the system of common examination system, common examination boards. The chairman was Arjun Singh for 1992, the revised education policy of 1992. Then the most important comprehensive year is 2016. 2016. That is nothing but an evolution of NEP, an evolutionary trends in NEP, inculcating the value-based education, the skill-based education, mostly skill-based education. Skill, sustained knowledge and intelligence through lifelong learning. SKILL. After the introduction of Skill India, learn, perform, earn. So this is nothing but a skill-based education. So the chairman was TSR Subramanian. TSR Subramanian. Then finally, 2019 draft educational policy has been introduced. Draft educational policy has been introduced. The chairman was Kasturi Rangan Committee. So, in the year 2020, the central cabinet has approved the National Education Policy 2020. It's a challenging reform in educational field, challenging reform in educational field. Now they are going to introduce in the parliament to become a bill, to become an act shortly. So it is the biggest paradigm shift in education from reactive role to proactive role, reactive role to proactive role. So that is a challenging task. A lot of skill-based, vocational-based, and then other dimension of education rather than content in education, That's known as National Educational Policy, NEP 2020. There are human changes have been noticed in this educational policy, wherein intermediate system of education has been abolished, MPhil system of education has been abolished, degree course will be of 4 years degree course, and then a lot of credit rankings have been introduced, a lot of credit transfers will be introduced, and then a lot of changes have been introduced in this national education policy. So the very first one is universalization of education. Universalization of education from foundational level to secondary level. Foundational level to secondary level. The very first concept change is foundation to secondary. Earlier, we have the system of 10 plus 2 plus 3, 10 plus 2 plus 3. That means free and compulsory education up to 10th class, up to 14 years. That means from 6 to 14 years, compulsory education was there in the earlier system. Now this system deals with universalization and compulsory education, free education from foundational level to secondary level. Which is the foundational level? Means third year, age 3 to 18 years, age 3 to 18. Earlier it was 6 to 14. Now it is 3 to 18. That means four levels they have introduced. Foundational level, that is 5 years. Next 3 years is the primary level. Next 3 years is middle level. Next 4 years is secondary level. So that is known as universalization and free education concept. And then GER, they have introduced, they have focused on GER, gross enrollment ratio of this secondary, primary and secondary education. Gross enrollment ratio, GER. That means by 2030, our country should touch 100% GER, 100% GER. Which is the best country? Which is the best country as far as GER is concerned? Means Finland. Finland stands first in the world. Finland stands first in the world. Finland stands first. And then education wise, we are standing in 112th rank in the world. 112th rank. India stands in 112th rank. Which is the best country in education? Means Norway. Norway. That means the topmost educational country is Norway. Norway stands first, then Finland, then Denmark, like that. These are the best countries in the world as far as education is concerned. Educational system is concerned. UK system stands first. UK system followed by USA system. UK system followed by USA system. That is system. This is education. Education, the very first country in the world is Norway. Norway. The highest GER is Finland. Highest GER, gross enrollment ratio, is Finland. The highest education country in the world is Norway. The best system is UK. And then best investment is Brazil. Best investment country in the world is Brazil. And then test scoring. The best test scoring country is Singapore. Singapore. Whereas in our country, Kerala stands first as far as education is concerned. The highest literate state, the highest education state is Kerala. The next aspect is the GER of higher education. They are giving a lot of focus to higher education. Gross enrollment ratio of higher education. Now we are now our percentage is 26.3. Higher education GER is 26.3. By 2030, we should be able to touch 50%. We should be able to touch 50%. 50%. That means already the UK, the USA, the Norway, they have crossed 50%. They have crossed 50% in higher education. And then Kazakhstan stands first as far as GER in higher education. GER in higher education. Higher education GER, the topmost country is Kazakhstan, whereas the topmost state in India is Sikkim. Sikkim. So our goal is by 2030, our GER in higher education should touch 50%. Should touch 50%. Then the next important fact is the dropout. So we have, our Indian country have dropouts of nearly 2 crore children. Out of school children are dropout. Both categories put together, 2 crores dropouts. We have to bring back the 2 crores into the main fold, mainstream of education. Bring back the 2 crore dropouts. And then the increasing the number of higher education seats, 3.5 crore higher education seats, they are going to increase it. They are going to increase the number 3.5 crore. That means we should open a large number of courses, large number of higher education institutions. Otherwise, we cannot achieve this higher education GR by 2030. It's the biggest challenge. That means opening up of increasing to 3.5 crore higher education seats. And then curriculum. Till now, the curriculum is 10 plus 2 plus 3. 10 means 10th class, secondary education. 2 means intermediate. 3 means graduation. 10 plus 2 plus 3. Now we are going to have the 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 system. 5 means 3 to 8 years age. 3 to 8 years age. This is nothing but foundational stage. 3 to 8 years. That means a child, after attaining 3 years of age, he or she shall be, uh, he shall be admitted in this foundational stage. What does it denote? What is foundational stage? From fourth year to eighth year, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years of age. That means 4 to 8 years of age is known as foundational stage. So what it will indicate? What is the crux in this? First 3 years, that means 4, 5, 6, is nothing but the child will be in Anganwadi. The child will be in Anganwadi. That is nothing but a joyful learning, a playful learning, a play-based education. That is Anganwadi. 4, 5, 6 year of age, the child shall be in Anganwadi, joyful learning, playful learning. Then first class, second class, first class, second class. So all these 5 years put together, it is known as foundational stage. Foundational stage is 3 to 8 years. So first 5 years, first five curriculum. Next 3 years curriculum. That means sixth year of age, seventh year of age, eighth year of age. This is nothing but primary education. Primary education, where the child will be in third class, fourth class, fifth class. Third class, fourth class, fifth class. This is nothing but primary education. Then comes the most important crucial phase is sixth class, seventh class, eighth class. That is 3 years. So that is known as next three curriculum. Next three curriculum. So sixth class, seventh class, eighth class, where the child will be in inquiry stage. Inquiry stage. So child has passed first foundation stage, then the primary education, then medium education, sixth, seventh, eighth, where the vocational education will be incorporated. All the parents of the children also to be kept in mind. So they should be highly careful in adopting this new education policy, where child is passing through foundational, that is nothing but a play-based education. The second one is nothing but the primary stage, the primary activity-based education. Activity-based education. The third stage is medium education, inquiry-based education. The child is going to opt the subjects, arts, science, humanities, and vocational also. So this is the crucial phase. Then comes the last four curriculum: ninth class, 10th class, 11th class, 12th class. So that is four. So this is nothing but where it is nothing but a critical thinking phase. Critical thinking phase is four stage. That means 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. This is nothing but a child is passing through four stages. That means foundational stage is nothing but uh, Anganwadi plus class 1, class 2. Then primary stage is class 3, class 4, class 5. Then medium stage is class 6, class 7, class 8. Then last secondary stage is ninth class, 10th class, 11th class, 12th class. That means secondary education shall be up to 12th class, not up to 10th class, as we have noticed earlier. So this is the dramatic change. This is the dramatic change. That means a child has to undergo 12 years of schooling and then 3 years of preschooling. 12 years of schooling and 3 years of preschooling. That means child is passing through the very first stage is play-based education. Play-based. Second one is that means activity-based education, interactive based education. Third one is inquiry based education. Fourth one is thinking based education. That is 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So that's it. So the next one is the child has to learn. That means focus shall be on foundational skills. The child is studying even 10th class nowadays. The child is not able to know this reading skills, writing skills, arithmetic skills. This is nothing but a triple R system: reading, writing, arithmetic. AR, arithmetic. Triple R system of education: reading, writing, arithmetic skills, and then language skills. The child has to learn a lot on focus on language skills. Without language, the child cannot communicate in a better way, in a confident way. So that is known as language skills. Then communication skills. Communication is just like a circle where four components are involved. Communication. The very first component is listening skill, reading skill, writing skill, speaking skills. All four: listening, reading, writing, speaking. All four skills the child has to child has to learn a lot. Without, you should be the effective best communicator in the world. That means if you speak, you should draw the crowds. You should be the crowd puller rather than crowd pusher, rather than crowd pusher. That is nothing but communication skills. Then soft skills: curiosity, inquisitiveness, inquisitive skills, investigative skills, investigative, innovative skills, innovative, illustrative skills. Confidence levels have to be improved. Emotional intelligence have to be improved. And then risk bearing, we have to bear the risk bearing. And then team building exercises. So like that, all the skills: foundational skills, communication skills, language skills, soft skills. So we have to, child has to focus on these skills, nothing but life skills mechanism. Then there is no hard separation between curricular and extracurricular. Nowadays, lot of weightage has been given to curriculum, not on the extracurricular activities. Till now, there is a paradigm shift. The equal weightage for curricular and extracurricular activities, sports, culture, language, like that. They are giving equal weightage. So curricular and extracurricular, equal weightage. So there is no hard separation between curricular, extracurricular. Arts and science, equal. Arts and science subjects are equal now, because till now science has an edge over arts, because science subjects have a lot of future till now. But now they're changing the dimension. That means equal importance to arts and science. There is no hard separation. And then the next no hard separation between academic and vocational. So they are integrating academic and vocational from sixth level itself, sixth class itself. This is the radical shift. Radical shift. There is no difference between curricular and extracurricular. Both are equal. Arts and science are equally good, and then this academic and vocational are equally good. Then the next part is assessment. Assessment by 360 degrees. This is the wonderful mechanism. Till now, our progress card deals with content-based progress card, only on education, only on education. Now it is showing 360 degrees rotation. That means not only content-based, they are giving lot of importance to cognitive skills, learning skills, cognitive, interactive skills, and then social skills, emotional skills, psychomotor domains, psychomotor. So one is content based, second one is social skill, emotional skill, psychomotor, manasikam, psychomotor, emotional, havabhavalu, సాంఘికం సోషల్ స్కిల్స్, కాగ్నిటివ్ లెర్నింగ్ స్కిల్స్, అన్నిటికీ సమానమైన ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఉందన్నమాట, ఈక్వల్ ఇంపార్టెంట్. దట్ మీన్స్ సెల్ఫ్ అసెస్మెంట్ ఈస్ దేర్, టీచర్ అసెస్మెంట్ ఈస్ దేర్, peer assessment is there. So assessment is of three types: self assessment, teacher assessment, peer assessment. ఇప్పటి వరకు ఏముండేది? కంటెంట్ బేస్డ్ అసెస్మెంట్. ఏం చదువుకుంటారు, ఎగ్జామ్ రాస్తారు, ఎన్ని మార్కులు వస్తే అదే అసెస్మెంట్ అయ్యేది. దట్ ఈస్ అప్రైజల్ రిపోర్ట్. ఇప్పుడు మారుతుంది, సెల్ఫ్ అసెస్మెంట్ వాళ్ళే చేసుకోవాలి క్యాండిడేట్. దెన్ టీచర్ అసెస్మెంట్, పియర్ అసెస్మెంట్, అట్ హోలిస్టిక్ ప్రోగ్రెస్ కార్డ్ అంటాం. ఈ ప్రోగ్రెస్ కార్డ్ వేరు, దిస్ ఇస్ హోలిస్టిక్ ప్రోగ్రెస్ కార్డ్ అవుతుంది అన్నమాట. సో దట్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ అసెస్మెంట్. దెన్ హైయర్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్. హైయర్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ is gaining lots of momentum now. ఇంతకుముందు యూజీసీ, ఏఐసిటిఈ అని ఉండేది, కౌన్సిల్ ఆఫ్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అండ్ దెన్ యూనివర్సిటీ గ్రాంట్స్ కమిటీ. ఇప్పుడు రెండింటిని మెర్జ్ చేస్తున్నారు. హైయర్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్లెక్సిబిలిటీ టువర్డ్స్ సెలెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ సబ్జెక్ట్స్, లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్లెక్సిబిలిటీ. సో డిగ్రీ కూడా 4 years ఉంది కాబట్టి ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ కంప్లీట్ చేస్తే బేసిక్ సర్టిఫికేట్ వస్తుంది, సెకండ్ ఇయర్ కంప్లీట్ చేస్తే డిప్లొమా, థర్డ్ ఇయర్ కంప్లీట్ చేస్తే degree. American system is nothing but community colleges. That means degree will be followed by associated courses. That means it is the foundation. It is the foundation between apprenticeship and training and also employment. So lot of flexibility in higher education, lot of flexibility, and then multilingualism, మల్టిపుల్ ఎంట్రీస్, మల్టిపుల్ ఎగ్జిట్స్. ఎప్పుడైనా ప్రవేశించవచ్చు, చదివేసి మధ్యలో మానేస్తే క్రెడిట్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ అవుతుంది, దానికి ర్యాంకింగ్ కూడా మళ్ళీ చేరొచ్చు. సో మల్టిపుల్ ఎంట్రీస్, మల్టిపుల్ ఎగ్జిట్ సిస్టమ్. ఇప్పటి వరకు ఏముందంటే అఫిలియేషన్ కాలేజ్ అనేది సిస్టమ్, యూనివర్సిటీకి అఫిలియేషన్ ఉంటుంది కాలేజెస్. But now they are phasing out this affiliation system. Now they are going to announce the grading system. Announce చేస్తున్నారు. అఫిలియేషన్ వెళ్ళిపోతుంది అన్నమాట, అఫిలియేషన్ వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. దాని ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ ఆఫ్ క్రెడిట్ ఫ్రమ్ అకాడమీ బ్యాంక్ ఆఫ్ క్రెడిట్, ఏబిసి అనే ఒక బ్యాంక్ ని కాన్స్టిట్యూట్ చేస్తున్నారు. క్రెడిట్ బ్యాంకింగ్ అంటే ఎప్పుడు ఎంటర్ అయినాడు, కోర్స్ చదివాడు, మధ్యలో ఆగిపోయాడు, ఆ క్రెడిట్ ని ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ చేస్తారన్నమాట. Points, credit points. That is nothing but Academy Bank of Credit, ABC system of education. That's a new system. Then light but tight higher educational framework. Light but tight higher educational framework. Higher education to okay, higher education regulatory authority antam. UGC, AICTE alaga undadu inga medata. Higher education regulatory framework, regulatory authority. Dan kinda different bodies function avutadam. Then National Research Foundation. Voracious research has to be done in education. Entry, exits, demand and supply, entry and quality, quantity education, skill-based education. Lot of research has to be done. So that's why they are going to start National Research Foundation. Then National Educational Technology Forum. National Educational Technology will be clubbed with education. Technology based education, that is lok vidya, technology based education will be introduced. That is nothing but National Educational Technology Forum. And then education up to 5th standard, primary education, mostly in the vernacular language, that means mother tongue. So mother tongue ki ekku importance ivvali ani 5th class varaku mother tongue ni introduce chestunnaaru. And they are going to start National Institute of Pali, Prakrit and Persia. Triple P. Pali, Prakrit, Persia. Why these languages? Pali has been used way back in Buddhism. Times. Pali language. It's a line language. Then Prakrit. Prakrit is the old language. Prakritam. Prakrit is the old language, Prakrit system, Vedic language, Vedalu, Prakrit, Sanskritam. So that is known as Prakrit. Then Persian language, that is nothing but Iranian language, Iran, Persia, wherein our Taj Mahal has been constructed uh, according to Indian architecture, the Muslim Persian architecture, atla different architecture system Taj Mahal has been constructed. Institute for translating the languages from one to another. Then equity and inclusion. Equity, shares, equal shares ఉంటుంది, equal importance, equality, equal opportunity అనేది ఉంటుంది. Inclusive education, not exclusive education. Inclusive education system ని ప్రమోట్ చేస్తుంది. Then synergy in curriculum. Synergy, 1 plus 1 is always greater than 2. We don't know the energy. It is not energy, it is synergy. Anta value based education, synergy in curriculum. Then creative thinking education. Creative thinking, what is creative thinking? Observation, analysis, application, observation, analysis, application, problem solving, decision making. 5 components in critical thinking. 5 components in critical thinking. Nothing but a D-Banos system, improved version of D-Banos system, that is a critical thinking system. Observe the process, analyze the process. Application has to be, a lot of applicability is to be there, and then how to solve the problem, how to make a decision, how to take a decision. That is known as critical thinking skill. And then capacity and capability of the student, capacity and capability of individual student tracking will be developed. A continuous tracking mechanism will be developed, and continuous review mechanism. Continuous review has to be done. Lot of technology, ICT, information communication technology, ICT tools will be introduced in education. And then ethics and values. This is a wonderful concept. Ethics, morality, values, విలువలు, నైతిక విలువలు, నైతికత, విలువలు, morality, విలువలు, ethics and values. Money comes and goes, but morality comes and grows. So a lot of moral education will be introduced. Value based education. So these will be achieved by life skill mechanism, life skills, and then participation by the community, community participation. That means this education is a comprehensive education system in the new education policy, national education policy. That means user will be a student, facilitator will be a teacher, user will be a student, facilitator will be a teacher. What is the agreement? Contract. Education is the contract. Education is the contract. Then other users, other value addition players, parents. That means education and one is the agreement between teacher and learner, student, with the help of some additives, some value addition. That means parent track, involvement of parents also in this fold. That means a quadruple based education, that is the community participation. And then a lot of flavor towards Indian diversity, diversity on one side, and then local context, local flavor on the other side, local context on the other side, and then diversity on the one side. So this is nothing but a complicated mechanism. So now we have to think a lot, because the education system is traveling from play based via play based in the foundation stage, via activity based, that is primary education, then the skill based, that means inquiry based, that is middle education, then thinking based, secondary education. So play based, activity based, inquiry based, thinking based, all based, 4 levels of based education have been noticed from 3 to 18 years of age in the 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 curriculum. For this purpose, a lot of challenges involved. Lot of challenge. It is not a single day affair. We cannot just achieve it by 2030. Lot of effort is required. We have to pass sleepless nights It is the aim of this education. A strong word, aim, ambition in mind, three-letter word. Aim requires that is a sleepless night, sleepless nights we have to pass. Dream requires effortless sleep. Aim requires sleepless effort. But pass. That means a lot of new modules have to be developed for educational system. Already NCRT is there. NCRT is going to prepare new module, a value-based, skill-based module for all education. And then ECCE, this is the wonderful concept according to Article 45, early child care and education. That means Anganwadi. Anganwadi play-based education. That means this institution is national curricular, curricular pedagogical framework in early child care education. Early child, that is the famous institute, national curricular of pedagogical framework towards early child care education. So that is nothing but NCPFECE. NCPFECCEE. That is the institute where it is going to prepare this module for this early child care education. So biggest challenges before our country, our people, is involvement of the people, involvement of the parents. Now we have to change our minds from traditional to non-traditional, from conventional education to non-conventional education, because education is of three types. One is formal education. This is nothing but in classroom education, period, number of periods, classroom education, classroom timings is formal education. Second one is informal education, out of the structural curriculum, structural curriculum, out of structural curriculum. That means coaching centers, mentorships, out of the class hours. That is informal education. And then non-formal education. Non-formal education will be taken over by NGOs, non-governmental organizations. That is Boy Scouts, Girl Guides, like this, adult education, like that. So where they have to reduce the curriculum to the core essentials. Curriculum will be reduced, syllabus will be reduced, content will be reduced to the core essential. Interactive session will be introduced. So it is not a one way. It is not a lecture classes system. It is a learner classes system. Learner classes system. Interactive. We have to give a lot of importance to the child, to the student. The student shall be given an opportunity to ask more and more questions. Question answer session, Q by A sessions, that is interactive session. Critical thinking, observation, analysis, problem solving, and decision making shall be by the student. That is nothing but critical thinking. And then exponential learnings by creative and collaborative way. Creative thinking, collaborative thinking will be inculcated. And learning outcomes and digital literacy will be introduced. Learning outcome and digital literacy will be introduced. No silos, no singles, no silos on subjects or students. No silos. Isolate, no isolation. It's a group dynamics. It is a peer group dynamics, group activity, group learnings, collaborative learnings. And a lot of multiple entries and exits have been introduced. A lot of multiple entries, multiple exits. And multilingualism. And moreover, health-based initiatives, that is health-based initiatives will be introduced. That means bagless days, bagless days, because child is carrying lot of weightage, lot of books weight. That is a bag contains lot of books now. So it is a bagless days will come, bagless days. That means weight will be reduced and health checkup will be there. Health checkup education will be combined with health education from the school level. From the school level, in the curriculum they are going to introduce health based initiatives, health based initiatives. And then local flavor will be introduced, local Indian flavor, state based education, particular region based education, leadership roles will be introduced. And then innovation in pedagogy, teaching techniques, innovation in pedagogy, equal importance to curriculum and extracurricular. Both curricular and extracurricular will be given equal weightage marks. Equal weightage marks. Leadership roles will be introduced as far as Indian culture is concerned. That means hexagonal game-changing techniques will be introduced. Hexagonal. What is the hexagonal game-changing techniques? Virtual reality, then augmented reality, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data, wearing devices. So these are the six hexagonal game changers will be introduced. And then dimension, knowledge rules. That means traditional system, Indian system of medicine, in the tribal system of medicine, ethnic practices, culture, trafficking, disasters, and then trafficking, then drug trafficking, then health-based initiatives will be introduced. That means the child will be rotated through 360 degrees. Child will be rotated through a knowledge-based initiatives, rotated through 360 degrees. That means the education examination will be at third class, third class, fifth class, eighth class, third class, fifth class, eighth class. Examination pattern, a public examination pattern will be at third class, at fifth class, at eighth class. So this is the major change. Third class examination, fifth class, eighth class. And then next examination pattern in ninth to 12th will be depending upon testing the core competencies test mechanism, core competence. That's why they are going to establish one institute known as PARAK, PARAKH. What is PARAK? Performance, performance assessment, performance assessment, reorientation, the reorientation, then performance assessment, reorientation, analysis will be there, and then knowledge holistic Parak Institute they are going to establish, which will determine the testing of core competencies, testing of core competencies. Parak Institute they are going to establish, and then verification of assessment verification, self-assessment, teacher assessment, peer assessment by introducing an artificial intelligence based software, AI based software. AI based software will be introduced to verify the assessment. Assessment through 360 degrees, self assessment, teacher based assessment, peer assessment, and both feedback and feed forward techniques. Both feedback means past past nature. Observed process, they are going to introduce some suggestion. Feed forward techniques. Feed forward techniques. That means they are future based. Future based. They are identifying the things. They are going to share the information to bear both teacher on one side, learner on the other side. So that means they have to improve a lot. How do we do better? How do we do better? How do we do better? How to improve our capacities? That is feed forward technologies, Goldstein feed forward technologies. That is a verification of assessment. And progress card will be dependent on not only on the content based education, but also on the cognitive, social, emotional, and psychomotor domains. So all aspects are involved, multiple aspects are involved. And they are going to focus, biggest challenges socio-economic disadvantageous groups, SCDGs, socio-economic disadvantageous groups. What are they? Socio-economic disadvantageous group. One is gender-based inequalities. Gender-based. That means women education, girl education, and transgender education. So there is a disparity in girl education, transgender education. Now, till now, they are going to give a lot of importance to this gender-based education. Now, that means equal importance to the girl-based education, transgender, and then socio-cultural, SC, ST, BC, minorities. Lots of focus will be, fillip and impetus will be given to all these categories, SC, ST, BC, and minorities, and then geographical based importance. That means most of them are from rural. So rural people shall be given a lot of importance now. Rural people, small town people, aspirational district program ADP, backward districts shall be given a lot of importance now. And then the next important is disabled children. This is a child with special needs, disabled children, and then socio-economic conditions. Migrant labor, they are going to attack. Migrant labor, lot of focus will be given to migrant labor children, and then low income group children, then orphans, then beggars, then trafficking people children. So a lot of equality, equity will be introduced. So this is the biggest challenge. That means gender based, they're going to create one fund, gender inclusion fund. They're going to spend crores of rupees on this girl education. Now they are going to increase it to more than 2 lakh crores, 3% to 6%. Education sectoral allocation is from 3% to 6%. Now we are there. The central government is spending 3% in GDP. Now they are going to enhance to 6%. In this gender inclusion fund, going to focus on this gender-based, particularly girl-based and transgender-based, by having a lot of KGBs, Kasturi Gandhi, Balika Vidyalayas, and then like SEZ, special economic zones, they are going to open special education zones, giving lot of importance to the fee waiving mechanism. Lot of counselors will be appointed, and then additional schools will be opened. And child with special needs, disabled children education will be given lot of focus, lot of language dimensions, lot of assistive devices, lot of additional schools will be opened, and then integrating with the main courses, and that also most important. And integrating this vocational education from sixth class onwards, that is the crucial change. And then adult education will be combined with higher educational institutions, HEI. Adult education will be combined with HEI to give lot of sensitive support, mechanism, to give lot of sensitive support mechanism. And then special talents, that means gifted children, they are going to include some guidelines. And then online education, digital based apps, study of web based apps, in active learning, Swayam, they are going to expand this platform, and they are going to inculcate this lifelong learning skills, commitment towards lifelong learning skills, techno-based initiatives, and also finally triple P, public-private partnership, public-private partnership. They are going to inculcate public-private partnership. Public-private partnership. They are going to open that window. So large number of investors are now looking towards investment in educational sectors also. So that's why they are looking for 3 to 6% in budget on one hand, and they are attracting the investors to invest billions and trillions of dollars towards this education. That is nothing but a PPP mode. So this is the biggest challenge in education. If you implement with a true spirit, with a lot of concern, definitely by 2030, India system, Indian educational system will be a competing system on par with the highly developed educational imbroglios, educational jargons in the world. We can definitely compete. We will increase the ranking from 112 to double digit, even single digit ranking also. We have to compete with US based system, we have to compete with UK based system, we have to compete with Finland, Denmark, Norway. So by concentrating on this human development indices, sustainable development goals. Definitely, it is a challenging mechanism. It is a biggest challenge. Definitely, a lot of concern is required. So, multi-pronged strategy is required for all of us. NGOs on one side, then teachers on one side, and learners on one side, and then parents on one side. So, multi-gonal approach, multi-pronged strategies are required to achieve this. This, no doubt, it is a wonderful system, but in order to achieve our goals and objectives, definitely we need to spend lot of value addition is required. Lot of value addition is required towards this implementation. Definitely, a day is hours where our words will be converted into actions. The parents also should spend a lot of time on their children, on this educational system. Otherwise, this new educational policy will be of no use after 10 years. So definitely, decade time is there. In this decade, we are going to transform our India from word to action, from word to action. Definitely, our words shall be converted into actions for the coming years. So I wish you all the best on your future endeavors. I wish all the parents or the government organizations, non-government organizations, education institutions, investors, private sector people, parents particularly, mentorship is highly required. So I request all of you to involve in this inclusive educational policy and make it a grand success. So thank you very much.